Hey fellow vault dwellers, awesome news! We already know the next patch, the next big update, most likely dropping in March. The date's not confirmed yet, that's my speculation. But let's jump, we have full notes. Okay, quick, long story, very short. If you are joining and don't care about all of it, what's coming? Changes to armor, changes to legendary effects, armor related, changes to some perks, legendary, changes to events, changes to rewards, huge changes overall. Not about new content as much as a lot of rework in those patch notes to existing content that will be giving you new stuff. So let's jump in. Welcome Vault Dwellers. The holiday season is here and your adventures in Burning Springs are in full swing. We hope you are enjoying the new region along with its deadly armor deathclaws and even deadlier radhogs. Seeing so many of you grab your pistol and cowboy hat to hunt down the largest bounties has also been rewarding. Speaking of rewarding experiences, let's chat about the content that is hitting the public test server today. So yes, I will be reporting from the public test server too, updating my game right now as I speak. We are firing up the test servers to give you access to the next major update for Fallout 76. This update provides sweeping changes and improvements to events and public events, touching everything from rewards to making event-specific balancing changes. We will also be making improvements to armor with the goal of making sure you have more options in how you choose to armor yourself throughout the game and lowering the burden armor weight takes on your stash inventory. Like always, your feedback is critical during this stage, so thank you in advance for sharing your thoughts. You will find more on all of this and fair bit more below. How to participate, PTS Loca, there are some special unique items, we'll check them out as we go. That's PTS specific stuff. I will mainly cover reading that, what's coming to the game, not what's specific to the testing changes. Events have been renamed to activities. We have rebranded the variety of smaller event quests as activities to better represent what we felt they truly are. A quick activity to go do with a couple of friends or on your own. Public events will retain their name. Activities will now be shown within the featured activity list when opening the map alongside daily ops and public events, making them much easier to find and join. Activities have been given their own unique icon. We have adjusted the maximum levels of enemies that spawn during all activities to provide more of a challenge for higher level players, which honestly I do welcome, while still staying balanced for lower level players. How to start activity? Activities will now operate on time-based rotation, which I don't like, which means several activities such as collision course can no longer be started by approaching the area it takes place in. There are some exceptions to this rule which we'll detail below. How does this work? Approximately every 10 minutes and depending on available activities being completed, players can expect new activity to become available, chosen randomly. Activities will not repeat until all have been completed, so a big randomized rotation. Enclave activities, which previously required players to progress through the main quest to participate in, are now available to all players through this new system. Real Blast, Bots on Parade, Drop Connection. Worry not, members, as you can expect to receive additional rewards for your commitment. Powering up will still need to be activated manually, so the power plant event and riding shotgun will still be manual activation, so only 2 really. Reward pools update. All activities and public events have received updated base reward pools. Any unique reward for an activity or public event remains in place. Activities will now reward 75 caps, chance at legendary item, 1 regional item, schematic or mod, a chance to receive 1 to 2 legendary modules and experience based on player level. Public events will now reward 150 caps, 2 legendary items, 3 to 5 legendary modules, 3 treasure nodes, 1 to 3 improved bait if fishing main quest is complete, 3 you mine it map if you have one, none, and experience base on a player level. A variety of player titles have been added for public events, and a variety of camp titles have been added for activities. Uninvited guests, not the event that has similar name, that's not what they're talking about here. Upon completion of certain public events, there will be a chance for a special creature to spawn that has some added difficulty and will drop additional rewards for players to enjoy. One of them will be much more challenging. 4-star Bigfoot. The 4-star Bigfoot coming to the main world. Finally, some way to obtain 4-star stuff for people that hate the raid. And I welcome that very much. And the Bigfoot, yeah, that sounds awesome. The new boss incoming. And for the PTS exclusively, this new boss will be guaranteed to keep appearing. So that's a good news. When this patch goes live, there will be a chance for it to appear, not all the time appearing. World loot updates. We are taking this opportunity to make a pass at updating various world loot containers too. The contents of lockboxes found throughout the world have had their loot improved. Chance to receive a legendary item, depending on lock difficulty. Humanit maps can now be found. Contextual season items, depending on active challenges, players will now have a chance to find a related item, such as soap, to help progress their daily weekly goals. I mean, interesting twist. I'm mainly happy about the legendary being added and loot being more creative. Ammo crates will provide players with contextual ammo based on their current weapon of choice and a random assortment of additional ammo for others. So I don't know what they mean by that. I like ammo crates as they are now. I don't want any changes. Humanit maps will now have improved loot depending on the level of the map used. Activate the Lucky Strike quest. Known issue, Humanit maps can be consumed even if the player has the quest active. That's issue probably for PTS only. Balancing pass on activities and public events. And there is a bunch of events that's being redone and changes. Mainly the changes almost the same for all of them, so I will not read everything. I will post the full patch notes in the pinned comment though if you want to. But main changes is basically additional legendary enemies that will spawn on them. Some of them have reduced time, change timers. Mostly more enemies, more legendary enemies on those events as you read through that. Small adjustments for some, like minor ones. The turtle was buffed, so that's very welcome. Like, turtle need to be always buffed. Every patch we need to buff a turtle until it will be unbeatable in Appalachia. Absolutely not possible to defeat. That's the absolute final goal. More legendary enemies is the main theme that I welcome. They do not mention anything about more of the 4-stars, so the only 4-star we will be able to get is the special guest at the end of public event that will have the chance to spawn like a Bigfoot. So that will be our 4-star. You can see basically every event is receiving some kind of smaller or bigger changes. Pip-Boy performance update, so this is really good, supposedly. Pip-Boy will load 52% faster, actions will be 70% quicker, and it will be up to 88% less laggy. All very welcome. If it's gonna be like that, we just all hope it's not another 16 times the details. But any improvement to the Pip-Boy honestly is welcome. Improvement to tabs, the clear tabs, then recipe book. So your plans you will be able to find in one spot and not scroll entire ginormous tab trying to find it. More organization will test that all in practice, how well it will go. There are some known issues. I will not read them as hopefully those will be fixed before live release. Season visibility improvements. So some of the enhancements, so how the season you find and navigate. We'll see that in practice. Reading that like without testing it doesn't make much sense to me. Vanity lights being added for photo mode. again, we'll need to see how that looks like. And then armor update. That's a big one. Let's dive in. To kick things off, all armor now weighs 50% less when in your stash. So that's huge. I really welcome this improvement. We want storing items in the stash to be the ideal place to keep spare items. This may be applied to weapons and other types of items in the future, but for now we are exclusively doing this for armor in the stash. The weight of armor and power armor in your inventory has also been adjusted as well. Which way they don't say, so I'm a little bit afraid. As you read through the rest of the changes below, please keep in mind our goals with this update. So the goals are here. Provide a wider range of valuable armor choices based on your build and what you are fighting. Add more flexibility with how you decide to modify your armor to cover your needs. Allow for more synergistic balance adjustments and better difficulty tuning for all present and future content. You can find all the changes to armor and related modes listed below. We have changed the equation used to calculating damage reduction to put more emphasis on armor rating. Damage you take is now reduced first by your armor and then by special damage reduction effects. So that's opposite what we have in live game. A side effect of this change is that your armors will no longer break faster when you have special damage reducing effects. All special damage reducing effects from different sources, such as minus 15% damage from robots, now multiply together rather than add. If you don't understand what that means, it's a nerf. It will be way less, like our full set of troubleshooter will be way less effective. Now it's total of 75%. With this change implemented, it will not even hit 50%. So that's a huge difference. Diminishing return, in other words, for multiple pieces of the same effect. Armors now have more elemental resistance options. Braced armor mods have been redesigned to give plus 5% block damage reduction. All under armor now share a new mod slot that controls which special stat bonus is gained. The existing lining mods no longer grant any special stat bonuses and instead grant more resistances. So they are changing how under armor works, decoupling the special bonuses from resistances that you can find on it. Special bonuses will be provided based on the style you unlock and install. So standard style is default and you don't need to unlock. And then you have different styles. So Vault style will be for maximum intelligence boost. Raider style will be for maximum luck boost. And you can adapt that, and they basically made it all. So every under armor is giving you 10 total special, which is above compared to what we have now. So all of them is 10. Secret Service style is similar to what we have. It's balanced, defensive one. Marine style is more, again, another balanced one. Enclave style, Perception Agility, high stats, so that's for Commando style and VAT style builds. Casual style is high charisma, so that's like a trading version for vendors. Brotherhood is very high strength, endurance, intelligence, like a melee character would benefit from that. Civil engineer style, it's balance, strength, perception, charisma, so you will not use it. Like this combo will not be used. Unless you see a use case, let me know what that would gonna be. Default legendary mods and unique. Updated default legendary mods and added a unique effect to several armors. The armors will have unique effect and default legendary modes, whatever they mean by that. Will they always drop with them? I think so, as they say, Hunters, that's a first star, Perception, that's second star, Through Hikers, that's third star, so it seems like they will always drop like that. And they will have unique effect, 50% throwing weapon damage on this one. Load-bearing terminal, that's where you buy that. Then another armor, stand fast for combat armor. Chameleon Hardy Sentinels, plus 50 as speed increases. I will focus on those new unique effects. I will not read everything anymore for the following ones. Just special unique effects. Plus 50 armor as speed increases. weak for now, but something new. Silver Lining, reflect 10% of damage. That's good, very interesting one. Last Bastion, accuracy increases up to 35% as health decreases. Very, very odd stuff. That's only for bloodied builds, in other words. New Last Stand, gain 50% of your evade chance as damage reduction. You can no longer evade. This is cool. I need to say this is a very cool approach. You can stack evade and translate it into damage reduction instead and use it as a tank. I like that approach. That's cool. New Bulwark. This armor weighs twice as much and provides 35% more protection. I will take the trade-off. New Roadkill. Eat animal corpses to restore life. Not interested. New Rage Armor. You deal 1% damage when hit and take plus 1% damage up to 100%. Stacks expire over time when not taking damage. So when I'm getting hit, I will eventually be doing 100% extra damage, but taking as well 100% extra damage. I would say that's interesting. I need to run it to see if that's worth it, but interesting. Power armor changes. Yes, power armor is here too. Significantly reduce the weight of all power armor and the base weight of the power armor chassis. A deployed power armor chassis no longer removes its weight as if you dropped it. Dev note, this change was made to help indicate the item is still in your inventory and you have not dropped it. And by the drop it, they mean when you placed it, as you can absolutely drop power armor and then you get rid of that. No, you want to place it, and they talk about placed power armor. Power armor chassis weight is now derived from its contents. So it's not default amount. Depends what's on it. Equipped power armor now retains 100% of its weight. Equipped power armor that is broken no longer has reduced weight. Dev note, regarding the nodes that increase the weight of power armor in certain cases, the overall weight has been reduced such that in most cases you will have similar or less weight on your player and significantly less weight when in the stash. That's fair if that's true. Radiation. Nuke zones will deal more radiation damage to those in power armor if they are not fully suited up, full set of power armor, and using Radex. Radex suppresses mutations, so will not be doing that. The damage is not immediate, and you should still expect to have time to react if you are suddenly caught in a nuke zone while in your power armor. That seems like my ghoul will be even better option for me. I don't want to really deal with that. I will run ghoul. Rebalance radiation damage from the environment. Generally, the damage you take from environmental sources is now lower. That's bad for my ghoul. Okay. It is now easier to leverage mods on regular armor alongside items like Radex to reduce incoming radiation damage. The power armor and hazmat suit option is still the best option to survive intense amounts of radiation. We'll be able to combine power armor. No, I think they meant power armor or hazmat suit. So you cannot wear both at once. When you enter power armor, hazmat will be disabled. At least that's how it works currently. Hazmat suits now have a basic spread of resistances rather than just radiation resistance. Legendary mod changes. Mutants, changing from flat resistances to 5% damage reduction when you have 3 mutations. So that's like overeaters. That's a buff. Bolstering, change to up to 10% damage reduction when health is lower. 5% health is 10%. Okay, so when you are at 5% health, you're getting 10% damage reduction per piece of bolstering. That's a buff to bolstering. Vanguards, change to up to 10% damage reduction based on max health. 1000 health is 10%. Okay, that's a huge buff to Vanguards. Full health builds, gonna enjoy that. Overeaters, lowered the damage reduction from 6 to 4. Why? Okay, that's not welcome. You want me to get rid of my Overeater set and switch to Mutants? Like, Mutants is so much easier to maintain and gonna be stronger. Goodbye, Overeater set. I hope they undo that. Doesn't make sense. Way harder to keep Overeaters running and less bonus than Mutants. No, that cannot stay. I hope that's gonna get changed. Aristocrats. Change to up to 10% damage reflection based on Cap's health. Interesting. Like this one. Elementalist. Increase from 5 to all resistances to 25 all resistances. That's a solid buff. Warming, Fireproof, Hazmat, and Poisoner's mods increase resistance value from 25 to 50. Nice buff too. Defenders redesigned to 40% chance to automatically block attacks for weapons and 5% chance to automatically block attacks for armor. Oh, that's gonna be so strong. That's really good for melee. If you can block, how much that will be? 40% on the weapon. Then full set of armor 25. 65% that melee attacker will fail to attack you and will get blocked. That sounds really good. Cavalry's weapon mod renamed to Blocka. Damage reduction from this effect explicitly applies to blocked damage now. That sounds really bad. Cavalry armor mod changed to minus 10% damage taken while sprinting. Okay. That's better than what we have, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not using Cavalier. I think that it currently is 5%. Yeah, so that's they doubling it. Reposting. This effect now specifically reflects blocked damage. It also works with the new auto block effect. I will need to test how those combos gonna work. Like combos, I'm not judging yet. I don't know how good or bad they will be. Lightweight. This mod is now available to armor and power armor. Reduces the item's weight by 50%. Why not 90? Why 50? That's not enough. Weightless renamed to heavyweight. This mod now grants up to 10% damage reduction the closer to 100% carry weight you are. So that's for herders. Always carry a lot, but it should be more like based on total carry weight, I think. Why do I need to be always close to being over encumbered? That's a little bit odd, in my opinion. Perks changes. Legendary perks no longer require perk coins to unequip. Oh wow, okay, yeah. That's big. I didn't notice that skimming through that first time. That's big. Free swapping of legendary perks is coming. Remove the sturdy frame perk. Remove the portable power perk. Dev note. Players will be granted perks coins for any removed perks that they have. Please note that this exchange will not be in the first iteration of public test server. Fine. Okay, if they need to remove it, okay. Blocka now reduces the damage from blocked attacks. Only from blocked attacks? That sounds like a severe nerf to Blocka. Fireproof. Renamed to Hardy. Although, wait, I take it back. If that will apply to range attacks too, like bullets, if we can block them, most likely not, but if that would apply to range attacks, it would be good. But if only for melee, then it's a nerf. Fireproof renamed to Hardy. Remove fire damage reduction. Dev note. We have added many new sources of fire resistance and felt this perk was better suited to a single effect. Okay, so Hardy for explosive reduction. I'm already using it as explosive reducing effect, the fireproof, so fine with me. Creatures and enemies. Some stronger enemies' outgoing damage has been reduced, raid bosses, etc. But in the same time, they're reducing how effective armor is, so don't read it as they getting easier. They most likely just balance to still do the same damage. Some enemies' poison, fire, and cryo damage has been increased a bit to account for players having much easier to access to those resistances. Always something. They give and they take. More resistances, but enemies will do more of those damage. Okay, that's fine. All cursed weapons can be modified in legendary crafting now. Oh wow, that's very welcome. Plasma caster. New mod, short scope. Oh, it will be scoped now. Split a barrel. Automatic barrel on the plasma caster. Burning receiver. That sounds cool. I like that. The sniper barrel has been redesigned to deal far more damage at the cost of spending more ammo per shot. The long barrel has been redesigned into the signal dish barrel, which adds rad damage. Plasma caster doesn't need rad damage, it doesn't make sense. Added new legendary effect to some unique weapons. This does not affect existing items. Civil Unrest, Assassins, Inertial, Swift. Increased unique AP bonus from 10 to 50 on Perfect Storm. Quad Hitman's Nimble. And Black Diamond, anti-armor reposting strength, bonus cryo damage. So they are updating some old weapons. If you are not familiar with Perfect Storm, that just has small bonuses, 1 star if I'm not mistaken. So they adding stars. All Rise, this change will be arriving in the next major patch, which is currently scheduled to arrive in January. So already, add the Juggernauts and Steady Legendary mods to the default mods. This does not affect existing items. I wanted to affect existing items. I have All Rise. Increase the unique effect from 10 to 50 health. So that would be so cool. And how do I get upgraded version? I already completed the quest. That's a good question I have here. Gameplay changes. Increase the movement speed cap from 120 to 150%. Oh, we're gonna be zooming in the wasteland. We're gonna be zooming. The default amount of damage reduction when blocking attacks has been reduced from 100 to 60%. We are not blocking attacks. They really want me to force to block attacks to block even less? I don't see myself manually blocking attacks. The Ultra Genetic Mole Mina Stalkers now deals a significant amount of physical damage and inflicts a deadly bleed instead of dealing a killing blow. Oh, we can out-stimpack that. Okay, awesome. I will be able to just spam a super stim versus Small Mina Stalker and survive. Okay, that's welcome. Players have 90% damage reductions against their own attacks. Oh, they mean self-inflicted damage from explosions. That's good too. So no longer you will so easily pop yourself, but in the same time, it will be a little bit harder to use Revenant on yourself. But worth it overall. Workbench, arrange the armors in light, sturdy, and heavy categories. And the unique effect of an item now takes priority over the first star effect in the Pip-Boy item card. And that's it. So that's a lot already. That's a lot. I will be testing that. And I will be updating you how that actually works. Subject to changes. Don't forget that's first version for the public test server. They can change this stuff before the final release, but that is what's coming. Let me know. Absolutely. Let me know what you think. And see you soon in the next one. Turtle out.